I know. Uh, this isn't a video I want to make, but it's one I kind of have to talk about. So, recently, as I posted about, one sec. Recently, as I posted about on the channel, in like just a community post, I basically pointed out that the Corrupted project, my soundtrack's Corrupted, essentially that whole Bandcamp got axed. It got destroyed, which that was like kind of the primary reason why. Like, who knows the future? Who knows what fate is or whatever? But like, the reason I moved all my like corrupted and sampled music over to with just the Corrupted project over to its own channel was basically that was the fear, was that something like that was going to happen to my just standard channel. So with that in mind, and with me just recently watching a video of a YouTuber named Dr. VHS, who's an archiver. He takes a bunch of random VHSs and uploads them to YouTube. Check him out. He's great. He has recently started to struggle quite frequently with copyright and even some copyright scenarios that make no sense. Again, check out his channel. He recently posted a video. I'll put it in the description. Where YouTube copyright is I've known for a long time is broken. I've known since I started posting music on here, and one of my original songs got claimed. I was told that was copyright. I was like, that is a completely original song. What the fuck are you talking about? And it took like 2 weeks to a month to release it. And I didn't get a strike for that or anything, but that was back when like that sort of those features were starting to roll out, and they were messy and bad. And they've always been messy and bad. They haven't gotten any better. YouTube doesn't know what it's fucking doing. It's using a bunch of AI and bullshit. There's fucking fake people and imaginary people that fucking roll out in droves that pretend to fucking take care of shit, and they don't. There's no fucking human being behind the wheel. And but that's not a YouTube centric problem. That's just all the corporations are just putting all of their fucking customer service behind AI and bots and God knows what. So with all that in mind and all that said, I am going to be removing every single Corrupted project from my channel. I'm going to be removing several other projects as well, such as Dynamic Industries Incorporated, and anything else that samples Nintendo or video game music in general. I'm trying to kind of move my as my music career has just it changes constantly. Career, my musical life continues to evolve, and as I get older, I find myself wanting to sample from Nintendo less and less, wanting to be associated with Nintendo less and less. Honestly, with them as a company, I'm not down for Nintendo anymore. It's just it's not somewhere that I want to continue exploring as important as they were to me growing up. Things are different now, and so it's a mixed bag of reasons. It's fear of getting my entire channel destroyed. It's fear. It's not fear, but like frustration with a organization that I once, company, corporation, whatever you want to call them, a thing that I once enjoyed that is now no longer good to me, personal opinion. I don't like what they do. I don't like how they treat people. I've seen it for a long time, but I've always held out of like, well, they once in a while do good things, and that I'm not saying that anymore. So, yeah. I started the Corruption project back in like 2014, like at least 10 years ago. I was a different person. It was a different time. YouTube was a different place. Nintendo was a different company. So I don't do this. I barely do this willingly. If it was my choice, And the illusion of my choice is still there, but if I'm taking the soundtrack's corrupted getting removed as a warning shot, in that if I don't take action, I could see other channels that have completely legitimate stuff that I worked hard on my whole life get removed because some asshole at Nintendo doesn't believe that, you know, transformative art is art. And that, you used our sample. You're not allowed to do that. Granted, these projects, I used like entire soundtracks. So anybody could be, like I can imagine people making the case, well, you know, you just ripped their songs. And it's like, yeah, I literally ripped them. I ripped them to shreds. I tore them apart. I made them sound unpleasant and unlistenable. That was the point of the project. And the idea that you could point to that, because the whole idea of copyright, as I understood it on YouTube for the longest time, was as long as it was transformative, it was okay. And now I'm getting this feeling that it's not. You're just not allowed to do it. And usually I'd rebel and create a fuss and try, but I'm not willing to do it for a bunch of fucking Nintendo soundtrack bullshit. If it was more intensive music, it was more like I would totally do it for it, but there's going to be one or two I leave. I'm not going to say which ones out of, you know, complete no total caution. But a majority of it is going to be removed in the next 48 hours as of the uploading of this video. I'm going to be downloading my own personal archive of it. I'll have my own digital version. If you're ever interested in having that for your own personal use, email me. I'll send it. But as for it being on this channel or Bandcamp or anywhere like that, it's over. It's gone. It sucks. This is a project that was originally inspired by Vinesauce back in 2014. I saw his corruption streams, thought that the music sounded really cool when it was all fucked up, and wanted to recreate it for myself. And I did it for almost 10 years with over 30 soundtracks. And it was a lot of fun. And a lot of work. A lot of hard work. Like, that's the kind of music that takes hours and hours and hours and hours to make. It's quick. I burned through some of those soundtracks quick with how much time I actually dedicated to per track, but just the full breadth of the work, especially with longer soundtracks, you know. But I'll put a full list of albums that I will be removing in the future. I think even Music for the End of Days I'll have to remove. That one breaks my heart because that's my COVID album, but it's got the Majora's Mask moon on the cover. I can't keep it. I can't keep it. So yeah, this sucks. I'm not happy about this. This isn't a fun thing. This is bullshit. I think it's bullshit. But I don't want all of my music to get just pulled up in this net because I wanted to do a project that I loved and enjoyed and didn't do for profit and didn't do to trick people. I didn't do to you know, create problems or try to put it in any sort of like place anywhere. I just made it because it was fun to do, and I put it online so I could listen to it whenever I wanted to. I know there's MP3 players, I know there's other ways of doing that, but the internet was just so convenient because I could listen to that and then switch over to something else. And I'm sorry I'm looking down for this whole fucking video. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I don't give a shit about making eye contact with you guys except occasionally. So you'll have to forgive me for being indifferent and looking over at myself as I talk, but yeah. I guess that's I don't know, I'm just rambling. I don't have a script. I don't know what the fuck I wanted to say here. I just kind of wanted to come in and say, hey, a bunch of shit's getting removed because the world sucks and capitalism is winning. So here we are. You know, I've always held and still held the personal belief that once you create something, it is no longer yours. It can be taken by any living entity out there and made into something else. Good people, bad people, corporations, and individuals. Once you make it, that is the fate of it. And if it's not now within your lifetime, it'll happen when you're dead. So that's why I've never cared if anybody takes my music, and that's why I've never really cared too much about sampling. I was inspired by old school like hip hop artists. I was inspired by vaporwave. I was inspired by a lot of sampling about Plunderphonics, all that shit, Girl Talk, all that. We're living in an age where corporations hold all the power. And as long as they hold all the power, there is no freedom of expression. There is no freedom of art. I can make my own original stuff on guitar, but sampling is its own thing. It's its own way of making music. Ask any person that uses samples or makes sample-based music and they'll tell you. And there's still ways of doing it. There's plenty of royalty-free and copyright-free stuff that I could do. And I plan on doing that in the future. I'm not completely giving up sample-based music entirely. It's just, I did it recklessly. I did it in a way that because it never got picked up or noticed in any sort of big way, I never got in trouble. But now it doesn't seem like it matters if you're big, or it doesn't matter if you're huge. It doesn't matter if you're noticed. They'll find you. That Bandcamp couldn't have had more than 1,000, 2,000 like visits in the 3 years that it was created, and they found it. So, that's that. Sorry to ramble. I probably repeated myself like 6 times. I hate doing that. I have a 10-second memory. This is why scripts are important, but I just can't be fucked. Yeah, sorry to update with that, but that's it. Download it while you can. You have my full permission to put any of these albums on an Internet Archive or any other sort of like universal drive. I don't care. Just keep in mind, if you posted it somewhere else on YouTube, you could have your channel removed. You could get fucked. I don't know. I can't protect you. I have no say in if that music gives you copyright strikes. I didn't technically make the original source material. So keep that in mind. I just kind of recommend having your own personal copy if it means a lot to you. So yeah, that's it. Bummer news. I'm just going to keep working on stuff. I have a couple ideas that I want to do. I want to do a Sonic Wasteland 3. I want to do a few EPs of just like noise music and ambient stuff for a while. That acoustic album took a lot out of me. So I'm probably just going to be fucking around with that stuff. So I'm not quitting music. I'm not... It's what it is. I don't really do sample-based stuff anymore. And this is kind of why. It's getting harder and harder and harder. And the paranoia isn't getting any better. So, yeah. That's the video. I don't know why I can't end this video. Fuck!